Hello everyone. In this session, we will understand about IBM 370 IO channel. What is this IBM 370 IO channel and how this is going to function? Let us understand very clearly. This IBM 370 IO channel is an IO processor which is designed by the IBM. You know that IBM is a company which makes the business machine. Let us understand how IBM 370 IO channel is going to work. Here, let us understand the term channel. The channel is just nothing but an IO processor which is used in the IBM 370 system. Now understand the functionality of this IBM 370 channel. But before I get into these details, let us understand something very clearly, that this IBM 370 channel is going to communicate with the regular processor by using the main memory. In the main memory, the IBM 370 channel uses two locations. One location is 72. One more location is 66. These are two common main memory locations used by the IO processor. I'll call it as an IO processor, IBM 370 channel. I can interchangeably use IBM 370 channel and an IO processor. Both are referring to the same thing. These two processors communicate with each other using two different main memory locations. One is 72nd location of the main memory, another one is 66th location of the main memory. 66th location is for the status word. 72nd location is for the command word. Regarding the command word and the status word, I explained in the previous session. Okay, now let us understand the functionality of the IBM 370 channel. When it comes to the IBM 370 channel, it has three different types of channels, three different types of IO processors. What are these three different IO processors? The first type is multiplexer channel. What is multiplexer channel? The multiplexer channel is used to communicate and connect to the slower devices. Let us say there is a CPU. The CPU wants to communicate with the slower devices. At that time, it can use the multiplexer channel. Second one is the selector channel. If the CPU wants to talk to the faster devices, it may use selector channel. And if the CPU wants to communicate with both faster devices and slow devices, it uses a third one, which is called block multiplexer. Once again, we do have three types of IBM channels. The first one is multiplexer channel. When the multiplexer channel is used, this channel is used to connect only the faster device, slower devices. When it comes to the selector channel is used to connect only to the faster devices. When you talk about a block multiplexer channel, this is used to connect only to, rather, it is going to mix the features of both multiplexer and the selector channels. So when a CPU wants to communicate with both faster devices and slow devices, it uses the third type of a IBM channel, IBM 370 channel. Okay. Now, let us understand the IO instruction format used by this IO processor. You know that there is an instruction format. Let us understand about an instruction format. When you talk about an instruction format, let us take the help of our old instruction format, which is used in the CPU that we have designed. The total size of the instruction is 16-bit, in which we do have a mode bit, which is the most significant 15th digit. Next, 3 digits are for the opcode field. The opcode field is going to specify one of the possible 8 opcodes, because the opcode field is of 3 digits, that is 14, 13 and 12, and the least significant 12 digits are for the memory address. That is the operand. Every instruction requires an operand that is available at a memory location. The operand's address is going to be specified in this address field. This is our regular instruction format. We already knew about it. Similarly, we do have an IO instruction. For an IO instruction also, we do have a format in IBM channel, in the IBM IO processor. What is this IO instruction and what are the different fields of an IO instruction? Let us understand carefully. The IO instruction format is of 3 fields. The first one is an opcode field. Second one is a channel address. The third one is the device address. What are these three different fields? Let us understand. The opcode field can specify one of the opcodes from these 8 possible opcodes used by the IO processor. One is start IO fast release, test IO, clear IO, halt device, test channel, store channel ID. What are these different opcodes? Let us understand. Start IO. When this instruction is executed, when an IO processor receives an opcode, rather an IO instruction in which the opcode is start IO, it means that the IO operation, rather the IO transfer, must be started, followed by channel address. What is the channel address? The channel address is a specific channel address that is connected to the regular processor. Let me explain you. There is a regular processor. This is our regular CPU. For a regular CPU, we may connect n number of IO processors. Many IO processors can be connected to a regular CPU or normal CPU. Okay. So when more than one processor is connected to the CPU, every channel, rather every processor, will be given a specific address. Let us say this is 20, this is 40, this is 60, this is 80. These are the unique addresses that are given to each of these IO processors. This channel address is going to specify the address of the specific channel to which the current transfer has to be initiated, followed by the device address. Similarly, every channel can be connected to many of the IO devices. By using one channel, many of the devices can be connected. So this channel is connected to many IO devices. Similarly, this channel is also connected to many IO devices. This to many IO devices, this is also to many IO devices. So in the IO instruction format, first one is an opcode anyhow, after which channel address will be given. The channel address, let us say this is 40. Now looking at the channel address, CPU will assign the current transfer to that specific channel looking at this address, followed by device address. The channel address will be followed by the device address. Once after channel is located, then the next job is to locate the specific device to which the transfer has to be initiated. As each and every channel or the IO process is given a specific address, every IO device is also given a specific address. Let us say this is 200. So the current channel, rather, the current transfer should be initiated from this IO processor to this IO device. This is what the IO instruction format is all about. IO instruction format is again of 3 types. Once again, opcode. The opcode field can be of any of these 8 possible opcodes used by this IO channel, followed by channel address. As you know that each and every channel will be given an address. The processor is going to identify the corresponding channel from which the transfer has to be initiated. Again, we also should find out the device address, because each and every device also will be given an address. So to that device, the transfer will be initiated from this channel. Again, let me tell you, the transfer will have to happen in between 2 entities. One is main memory and one more is the device. The eventual transfer should be from main memory to the device. Rather, the peripheral device, let me tell you. This communication will be established by the IO processor. One IO processor will be selected to establish this communication medium through which the actual transfer will be made. Okay, so that is opcode, channel address, and device address. Now, what is status word? You know what is a status word? Every time when the CPU wants to find out the status of the current transfer, it is going to request for a status. When a status word is requested, immediately the IO processor is going to prepare the status word and it is going to write in a specific main memory location. Now in IBM 370 IO channel, the location is always the 66th location. This 66th location will be used by the normal processor and the IO processor for finding out what is the current status. When the normal processor wants to find out the status, immediately it is going to issue a status instruction to the IO processor. The moment the IO processor receives the status instruction, immediately it is going to prepare the status word. The moment the status word is prepared, immediately it is going to be written in the 66th location of the main memory, after which the current processor will be able to read the current status word, thereby it is going to understand the current status of the current transfer. The status word has these many fields. One is key field. We'll understand about the key field. The address is going to specify the last executed IO instructions address. Status is, do we have any errors? Those errors will get recorded in this status status field, followed by the count. Count is going to give you the total number of words that are transferred so far. Initially, this count field will be the maximum number of words. Obviously, before the transfer happens, let us say the total number of words that are needed to be transferred from main memory to the peripheral device is 100. Once after the transfer is initiated, this count field will get decreased, right? At the end of each and every word transfer, this count field will get decremented after 100, 99, 98, 97, 95. Now let us say when the CPU wants to understand the status, immediately this will be halted. The current transfer will get halted. At that time, this count field is going to show you the number of words that are still needed to be transferred. That is, let us say it is 66. Okay, 66 meaning till 66 more words are remaining. Okay, so what is key here? By using the key field, the current transfer will be restricted from unauthorized access. When a transfer is happening from a specific channel to a peripheral device, this transfer, of course, it is initiated by one user. When this user doesn't want this transfer to be interrupted by any other user, he can use this keyword, rather the key field. By using the key field, the total transfer will be secured from the unauthorized access. This is what the channel status word. In addition to the channel status word, we know that there is one more word called channel command word. What is the command word? By using the command word, again, there can be a communication established in between the CPU and an IO processor. What is the command word? Let us see. This is not status word, this is the command word. The command word is always stored in address 72 in the main memory. There can be several command codes. What are the command codes? When an IO instruction is getting executed, this IO instruction have a command code. What is the command code? It can be write. It is for transferring the data from memory to the IO devices, or it can be read. That is data from IO device to the main memory. Read backwards. Read the magnetic tape with the tape moving backward. As the tape is moving backward, we need to read. At that time, we're going to issue a command that is read backward. Control command, as already you know, is going to control the motion of a device. Let us say printer is going to be controlled. How are we going to control the printer? There are several control mechanisms within the printer is going to control the motion of a paper. Similarly, when the tape is being controlled, the tape will definitely is going to control the motion of the tape movement. That is rewinding the tape, position of the disk access mechanism during a magnetic disk access. Sense, inform the channel status word to the address 64. That is, we're going to read the status. You already know what is the status. Okay, when the sense command is executed, immediately the channel status word to the address 64, it is written. Transfer in channel, the channel jump command, that is when the transfer has to be initiated, rather when the transfer has to be changed from one IO processor to another IO processor, this command will get executed. Once again, the command code, the command word has these many fields. First field is the command code. Second one is the data address. Third one is flags. And the fourth one is count. The command code can be of any of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commands. First one is write. When there has to be a transfer from memory to IO, it will be a write command. Read command from IO to memory. Read backwards. Especially when reading from tapes and you want to read it from the backwards, you're going to issue this command. Control. Of course, the device will get controlled. Sense. When the sense command is getting executed, then a status word will get transferred to the memory location 64. Transfer in channel. That is, when one channel stops functioning, immediately this transfer should be initiated from another channel, that is another IO processor. So the IO processor must be changed. This change can be done by using this command, that is transfer in channel. Okay, there is something called flags. What is this flags? We'll understand these flags. Okay, let us see. Now, example of a channel program. Now, how an IO transfer is going to get initiated, let us see. There are three commands get executed. Let us see. A transfer is happening from memory to the tape. The command is write tape. So from main memory to tape recorder, the word is getting transferred. That is the address field. You know that the command word will have these many fields. The first one is the command field. The first command is the write tape. What is write? From the main memory to the tape. The contents will get transferred. But we need to identify the address from which the transfer should be initiated. The address is going to show from which address the data has to be transferred. The initial address is 4000. So from 4000th memory location, right from the 4000th memory location, the transfer is initiated to the tape recorder. We'll talk about this flag. Count is 60. What is 60? From 4000 onwards, 60 data words must get transferred to the tape recorder. Okay. Right after 60, there is one more command that is issued, that is write tape. After the 60 words, there has to be 20 words again. Okay. Now look at these flags. When the first bit of the flag is equal to 1, it is going to chain the data count with the next data count. That is, right after the 60 words are transferred, right from the very location, right from the very next location, these 20 words must get transferred. Again, in the second position, there is 1 again, which means that it is going to chain the current data transfer with the next data transfer. That is, right after these 20 words are written, the next transfer should be initiated right from the very next position of the tape. So the flags will tell you exactly how to link the current data transfer to the next data transfer. It is going to chain. These are going to chain the current transfer. This is how an IBM 370 channel is going to function and work. Thank you.